who was just vibing to Dua Lipa before we came on the air. Who knew you were a big Dua Lipa fan? There you go.
That's for Marcus.
I love it.
Shout out to the flu. Shout out to the flu.
All right, shout out to the 40-somethings, you guys. How about this game last night,
people.
right? Goodness gracious. Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, Bengals, Steelers, and with the Bengals trailing 10-0 with under 5 minutes left in the half, Flacco finding Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I love the fact that they cut a split down, create that one-on-one. Him and Jalen Ramsey just competing for the ball. Jamar finds a way to go chase it down.
Yeah. Joe Burrow loving it. 16 catches, Bengals franchise record, and T. Higgins getting into the act, too.
This is just another essentially one-on-one route, a 3-step slant. Higgins in the middle of space, touchdown.
All right, so it's a 2nd and 13 from the 44. Next drive for the Steelers. Rodgers sends it to DK Metcalf, but what a play by DJ Turner.
I think DJ Turner's become like one of the best corners in football. It's a pretty impressive pick with the size of DK.
All right, now the Steelers are trailing 20-10, and this is just a dime to Pat Freiermuth.
The throws that both these quarterbacks made last night, pretty impressive. That Bender versus 2 high safeties, beautiful.
That was really fun to watch. 2nd and 20 from the 32. He finds Freiermuth again. This is just a huge play. 68 yards for the TD.
That guy's 41 or 42 years old doing that. 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Moves out to his left. Throws an absolute dart to Freiermuth. Look at this. I mean, this is 15, 20 years ago looking Aaron Rodgers. Just an unbelievable play. And it feels like the Steelers, as poorly as they played for stretches, might find a way to pull it off.
Yeah, but it was 2 minutes and 21 seconds left when they took that lead. And here goes Flacco right after the 2-minute warning, finding Chase.
Jarring to watch that final drive. I mean, easy completion to Jamar Chase. Easy completion to Jamar Chase. And then it's T. Higgins one-on-one once again versus Jalen Ramsey. The competitiveness to go find the throw and the selflessness to slide down at the 5.
Yep, heads-up play by Higgins as the clock winds down to 11 seconds. It's up to Evan McPherson, a 36-yarder for the win. And the Bengals upset the Steelers. Big division win, 33-31. But wait, there was one last chance here. This was the Hail Mary that didn't get answered. But, man, that ball made its way to the end zone.
That ball goes 70 in the air. I mean, it's
right.
It's remarkable how strong the arm is still.
How about that? Here's both quarterbacks after the game.
This is the NFL. You know, we had a chance to really open up some space, but we're 4-2, still first in the division. Got a couple, home games coming up, back-to-back. Another Sunday night opportunity against my former team. So, I'm not going to ride the roller coaster, and I know Mike isn't. And hopefully you guys follow suit.
Do you expect to ever have this feeling again?
It's a good question. I didn't feel like it felt like I might not, to be honest with you. So, it's pretty special.
Well, RC, now we know why Mike Tomlin didn't want him traded to the Bengals. That had to hurt your heart, the way the Steelers played defense in that one.
Yeah, it definitely made me hate the Cleveland Browns more than I already hated them. I think, Drake and the young people, they were looking for the function all summer with Nokia. I think last night the Bengals and the Steelers were looking for the unction because that's the age of these quarterbacks. And Joe Flacco absolutely played out of his mind. But when you think about the reason the Steelers were outplayed, it was schematics and also people.
Yeah.
The way that Zach Taylor approached this game was early on, if you were going to play too high, they were comfortable handing the football off. And as things evolved throughout the night and they had to start bringing some people in the box, trying to bring pressure, play single high safety, they took the one-on-ones. And then even when you doubled, as we just saw, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, they would hit Yoshibasa. So they would use Noah Fant. I thought it was a masterful game plan, but the execution was just phenomenal. Joe Flacco turned back the hands of time and looked like 2015 Joe Flacco. Some of those balls were so pinpoint accurate, the velocity it was thrown with. And then we watch players on the outside just be better than the other guys. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins were better than Joey Porter and Jalen Ramsey. It was truly an epic night for this Bengals offense, but it was an epic debacle defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers from Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin. It was a total miss and a failure.
Yeah, the Steelers defense can really only do one thing well right now, and that's rush the passer. And if you're going up against a quarterback like Joe Flacco, who had a 2.44 second time to throw last night, which is super fast, you're taking away the one thing they do well, and now you're playing into their weaknesses, which are coverage and tackling. Okay, basically everything else in terms of playing defense. Ryan hit what really happened in terms of like the game planning, but I will say, even though they got a little bit run on when they played too high, I still think they played way too much man coverage against this team. These cornerbacks against these receivers was just such a glaring mismatch. And when they didn't play man, they played a lot of really predictable cover 3, and Flacco said, cool, I'm just going to throw into the voids every time. This is a defense that really needs to dramatically rethink things if they want to be a competitive playoff team, because right now I do not see them holding up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, unengaged is the way that I would describe the whole defensive unit and plan. Just completely unengaged. If you watch them defend the run, guys are standing up with pad level left and right. Guys are getting in and out of the wrong or right gaps on a consistent basis. Some of these run lanes that Cincinnati had last night, who's a very poor running the football team, you watching defenders just completely stand up. You can see their numbers. Guys going in the wrong gaps, front side or back side. I also say this. I felt like at times, RC and MK and Hannah, they were trying to disguise their coverages so much, they disguised themselves into a problem. Like sometimes the safeties tried to rotate so differently and so late that Joe was like, oh, there's gashing holes backside there. Corners tried to rotate to the half, and it left just voids to the sidelines. And so I think that's the big takeaway is, you know, this is a defense I felt like was crazy simple last year. Are they trying to do too much right now where it's
No.
all the parts aren't connected?
Didn't seem like
Dan,
they
you know
made
what, too,
any
though?
adjustments. Yeah, RC.
I'm sorry, Hannah, just really quick. The Bengals game plan was also pretty predictable.
Totally.
It wasn't that the Bengals came out and did something that you, myself, or MK didn't know pregame. We knew exactly what it was going to be, and the Pittsburgh Steelers did seem disengaged, but also unprepared, and they had an inability to adjust, which was the scarier piece of the entire night.
Yeah, it's so weird. They're 0-7 on Thursdays against division opponents under Mike Tomlin. That's just a strange
That one doesn't make
stat.
sense.
Yeah, it
That's a weird
doesn't.
stat.
Obviously, they didn't close. Yeah. Okay, this is really unfortunate for the folks in London. They're not going to see one of the greatest receivers in the world, Puka Nacua. He is out for that Rams game with the Jaguars on Sunday morning at Wembley Stadium. He suffered that really scary ankle injury in the Week 6 win over the Ravens. And listen, it is no secret. This guy has been Matthew Stafford's very favorite target. In fact, nobody this season has a higher percentage of their team's catches than Puka Nacua does for the Rams. He accounts for over a third of their catches and receiving yards. Really, really big loss for this team. So on the defensive side, when you look at how the Jaguars are going to approach that offense, what do you expect now, RC?
Well, I think the first thing that you're going to get from Anthony Capelli's defense